I think Shannon has a fantastic past and a glorious future, and I mean that sincerely. What we need is the marketing, people to go out there and market the airport. We need the backing from the Minister of Transport at this particular time. If you look, we have some days we have only 9 flights coming in. We need the Minister to allow the Airport Authority to spend money on marketing the airport, and also to put money into the actual airport itself. And, you know, revamp the arrival hall here is badly in need of revamping. We need a good airport. We have good infrastructure, and it'll improve now when the tunnel in Limerick is finished, and when the road to Galway is finished, you know. But we need the Minister to row in behind Shannon Airport now and to give them the money to market it and let them out there, because there is people who are capable of marketing the airport. And once again, I think the Shannon Development should be involved more in the marketing and running of Shannon Airport. They're a very successful company here in this region. Well, I suppose it'll have an awful effect at the moment on the airport, because the numbers passing through, as you said, will be falling down to over 300,000 from whatever the numbers Ryanair brought in last year. He promised in the original agreement that he would bring in up to 5 million people. He never achieved that, and that's, you know, the disappointing part about it. But I feel myself that there is a couple of things that might happen here. Is now that Ryanair has pulled off of these routes, we might get an airlines in who will operate the routes who would not operate when Ryanair is on a particular route, because he bullies people off the routes, and he has no social conscience whatsoever. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't make money. By all means, he's entitled to make money and make as much as he can. He's in business to do that. But, you know, there is more to making money in operating a business. There's a lot of very successful business around the world, and in Ireland in particular, who make money for the companies, but who also allow other people to make money. And I don't think Ryanair is prepared to allow the airport to make anything. He wants to make all the money on the routes, and I think the airport should operate for nothing. The car hire companies, they have a separate problem. It has to do with the tax relief from the government, and that's a complete separate issue. Ryanair mainly took people out of Shannon to holiday destinations in Portugal and Gran Canaria and places like that. So you're right about the car parks. They are definitely down. That was proof that the people who were flying out of Shannon, and the people who were coming into Shannon were people returning from their holidays abroad. So the actual amount of visitors that Ryanair brought in is very questionable. And, you know, the amount of loss of businesses to the car hires and to ourselves, the taxi people, from the Ryanair is questionable. We definitely have lost business, there is no question about that, but not to the amount, whereas you take the amount of people that flew out the airport and into the airport, compared to the amount of business we should get if people were coming in from abroad and going in holidays. So what we need is airlines that will operate a proper schedule out of Shannon into Europe and into England, parts of the UK that Ryanair is not covering at the moment. Manchester is a particular area where there's a lot of Irish people who would fly in and out, and, you know, which would help the whole region. And, you know, the airport tax, definitely the airport tax is a problem, but it's not as much a problem as Mr. O'Leary maintained. And I would like to see, you know, O'Leary's bluff being called there and removing the tax, and see what he put back on these services that he took out.
So do you think the DAA suggested passenger tax is a good idea for Shannon? So?
Well, when you purchase your ticket at the moment with any airline, you're paying an airport charge. And, you know, if the DA are going to remove that airport charge and have a separate passenger tax, which would be not more than what you are paying at the moment, I think it's a good idea, because it should be going straight to the Shannon Airport Authority and not waiting for the airlines to pay their service and pay up the charges. Definitely, yes, it's a good idea, provided it's not more than the present charges, and provided that it will not exist alongside the present charges. There is some airports that where you have to pay a €10 development charge before you can fly on the flights, you know, and maybe that is something that the DA is looking at, but hopefully not with airport charges as well.